You're just in time. Quick, get behind your bench.
I was gonna say, whoops.
Hi everyone. Check out all the links.
Spiel, though.
Yeah, check out all the links. Check out the sponsors. Hi Heavenly.
Hi, we're professional streamers. It's like we do this all of the time. We make no mistakes. It's a science that we have perfected. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 7. Is that right? Episode 7.
7.
Episode 6. I think it's
seven.
Episode 7.
Episode 7. I was like, if not, my notes are really wrong.
I know
Episode
it's week 7. Whether
It's week 7,
episode
which means it's episode 7. Welcome to week 7 of Tooth, Tail, and Talcum Powder, an all monster campaign in a homebrew setting. That surprise, actually, monsters aren't the only things that exist. There are humans, and there's a baby, and this is Ice Age, the role play. Let's go around and let's talk to the people who put up with me every week for 3 hours.
We love you.
I always feel so weird doing these introductions because usually Scrat does them, and now I'm like, I don't know who to pick to go first because I don't want to like pick, you know.
I don't think anyone will mind. You can just pick at random and we'll be happy.
I feel like Tommy always gets picked to go first, so I'm not going to pick Tommy. I think this time I'm going to pick Leonie to go first.
Now I just feel like put upon. Like I always feel like I'm the one that actually gets picked first. Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I've actually streamed or done anything. You will notice that I'm not home. I'm at my mother's. You'll see her. She'll come and be like, "Oh, what you doing?" I play Mr. Matchy Tekos, and when I'm not here, I'm over on Gold Heart Gaming sometimes. Yeah. That's all I have to say today.
Love it. Let's do Shakespeare. I'm sorry. I'm like a true waitress. I think I've asked both of you to speak as soon as I saw that you put something in your mouth. I'm like, okay, it's your turn.
And like I flicked my straw
How's
and
your
just got water
meal?
up my nose. So hello, I am Shakes, also known as Shakespeare. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shakespeare. It's the same handle everywhere, and there is no E in the Shakespeare because that was taken. I play Mr. Blobby, who's just a lovely touristy ooze who tidies up after people and is not scary or unnerving in any way. And yeah, it's great. I have nothing else to say.
Okay, now that means it's Tommy's turn.
Hello. Welcome to our stream. We're very professional streamers. It's just one of those mornings, everyone. Hi.
This is going to be a great first date. It's going to be amazing.
Hello, I'm Tommy, Imperative Penguin on the Twitter sphere. I do tabletop RPG stuff. across the interwebs on various channels. Follow me on Twitter. It's the best way to know when and where I'll be. I've got a little posty at the top of my Twitter that is accurate and updated for June. Let's see. I play Asuka, the sentient suit of armor. Sorry, trying to remember which character I play. Wait, is my what's sorry, my Twitter? My Twitter?
Yeah, I've just realized that your Twitter's like Imperator Pengu, right? And I've had Imperator Penguin this whole time.
Oh, close enough. You'll
Close
find
enough?
me. Well, maybe not, since I changed my I changed my like title to my name and last letter official, but you'll find me. It's easy enough. You'll find something. Anyways, sentient suit of armor, Armor Dad, I think. Is that my title?
Armor
Dad.
Dad!
Armor Dad.
Yep.
Doesn't speak, losing their memory. Yeah. It's yeah. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't know what else I was gonna say. I'm good.
Love it. All right. Let's finish out with Scratticus, who's our channel dad.
Oh, I like that. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I play Gerbil, who is a sweet, innocent assassin.
He's never done anything wrong in his entire life.
No.
We know that, and we love you.
Yep. There's no need to...
Did not do anything that resulted in the death of a brother.
Nope. Nope.
And doesn't have an obsession with anuses.
Yeah, he is absolutely not rectally obsessed in any way.
Wow. Poor Gerbil.
We love him, our secret scholar.
Yeah, he does have a little penchant for books and writing, though.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
has a soft
like
spot.
Hannibal Lecter.
He has a softer spot for literature than he does for his brother, I suppose.
Oh! Oh, no.
Oops.
Okay. Well, so last episode, for those who didn't know, we did like a flashback episode, and it was supposed to be like fun, like a fun way to like kind of learn more about the characters and what their goals are. And it wasn't nice and fun the whole time. And we learned a lot about all of our great characters, except for Aristomachi, because she was unable to attend. So I wanted to start this episode with a little flashback of Aristomachi, so that all of the characters get flashbacks, because I like to make sure that everyone, gets their character flashback. So where we had ended with our 2 sessions ago was they had retired to a hotel that Dr. Sporin had bought. And as everyone was getting ready, Aristomachi was the one who got the bed. And she was sleeping peacefully while everyone else had these really great memories. So we see now Aristomachi, she is sleeping well, surprisingly, in this small bed. It somehow fits her. This is a monster world, so even small beds are large because monsters come in all shapes and sizes. And all hotels, even ones in little podunk tourist cities, respect that. And we see Aristomachi, you are sleeping peacefully. Mr. Blobby has the baby, so you don't have to worry about that. Asuka, who does not sleep, is guarding the door, and Gerbil is like ruling somewhere, remembering the things that he did to his poor brother. And Aristomachi, you are thinking of your home, Laka, where you left. How many years ago did you leave, do you think?
A few decades, I think.
It's been a while. And have you been home at all since leaving?
No, not at all. I left and never looked back.
Do you have any contact with anyone in your family?
Not that I think I do.
So one of the things that you discovered in the cave is that Laka may be involved somehow in the covering up of the existence of humans. There was that letter that was found that had this seal that indicated all 5 nations were working together, which is unheard of. It's something that people only assumed happened in like mythical retellings of great wars from centuries ago. And you're faced with the fact that this could be true, especially given that the druids that you guys attacked and then ate, well, at least one of you ate, was wearing robes that indicated that they were from Laka. And so tonight, as hopeful perhaps as you are for what you may learn about this human, you are caught up thinking of what your time was like in Laka, this nation that is known for its beauty, its raw, unfettered, natural wonders. And you remember a time when you were quite young, old enough definitely that you were walking and talking and could be away from your parents for long periods of time, but still quite young. And you were taken to visit a neighboring monastery by one of the priests. You belong to the order of Al-Jinn, and one of the priests, Bracken, has taken you to visit the Sanctified Oak, which is a monastery just a few days' ride away from your own, and all contact has stopped. And so you have been taken to investigate what has happened. And you are now just a few hours outside this place, and you are, you're not quite old enough, I think, that you would be running as you so like to do. You would probably be on a horse. You're young. Or you're in a wagon, and you are in a wagon with this priest who is clothed in the familiar dark hoods of Algin. And as you get closer, Bracken looks down at you and he says, "Is this your first time outside the walls, little one?"
Vara, it is.
And are you excited?
I am not sure.
You are very lucky. Many come to us for sanctuary, seeking respite from the world. You were born within our walls. You have only known its beauty. This will be a telling exercise for you in the wonders of nature.
I know what is expected of me. I will try and do my best.
He smiles down at you and adjusts his hood, pulls it back so you can see more of his face. And he's quite a slight tiefling, and you've known him for a long time. He's very prominent within your order, a very well-liked man. And he looks at you and says, "It can be difficult the first time you realize nature both gives and nature takes. I was asked to bring you here so that you might understand the fragility of our existence."
Only the strongest survive.
He smiles and nods, very happy that you have said that. Yes, it is a familiar teaching, isn't it? Only the strongest survive. But sometimes we become too strong. We forget that our duty is to bow before nature. And he motions to everything, and as the cart rolls forward, he points to the trees and to the birds, and kind of just is taking in everything as he says, "She is the great giver of life, and it is our duty to protect her and never overtake her."
We must live in complete harmony.
Yes. Harmony and service.
How many in service?
What is your passive perception?
Bear with me.
Oh, you don't. Oh, sorry. You don't.
It is.
You're like a baby, so your perception is probably not as. Maybe it's even better because you're a baby. Babies are so perceptive; they can see ghosts.
13, I think.
13. Okay. As you roll forward, he falls into amenable silence. You are quite used to long stretches of silence where you have grown up. What was that?
No.
Oh, okay. And he falls into this familiar silence, and you are sitting next to him. And as you come closer, you can see the walls of the monastery coming up, and you are greeted with first the sight of the gates standing wide open, which is something that seems quite strange to you. Your gates are always closed. It's not that there's any fear of attack. You don't live in fear. It's not like people are like raiding monasteries in Laka, but you know, it is a closed space. It's like you don't leave your front door open. So it seems like quite odd to you, even as young as you are, that the gates would just be so wide open. And you see where there is the like walls have been built, made of course out of like wood and vines and like nothing that would be impeding nature. The trees and the grass, they are as lush as they always are in every part of Laka, but quite suddenly where they hit the gate, there is rot everywhere.
Like decay?
Mm-hmm.
And is it like coming from the ground or?
The grass is dead. The vines that are on the walls have rotted, have fallen off, left only kind of skeletal frames. And the trees, where they have started to encroach into this territory, you can see some trees are completely dead and others have blackened leaves, while other parts of the tree are totally healthy.
Are there like animal sounds, like birds or?
There are still birds, yes.
Okay.
If you want to make me a perception check, I'll let you use your Aristomachi stats. Like, I'm not gonna... No baby penalty.
I think I should have baby penalty because I can't even see my sheets. Like, with me, I gotta find some dice. Yeah, I have a dice roller. Can someone just roll me a d20, please?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thanks.
12.
Okay, plus perception. 7.
7? Oh,
Yes.
You have a +7 perception? Oh my god.
Yes, I do.
So perceptive. You grew up in nature. You have to be on your toes constantly. Extreme camping. So you know that you hear the birds overhead and the chittering of, there's really no part in Laka that you wouldn't experience some type of wildlife. And so you are familiar with the sounds, but you do notice that the birds are not flying over the walls. There seems to be kind of like this clear space of air above it. And the walls aren't particularly tall. Again, they're not meant to really guard anything. They're just meant as some type of protection. You know, people are soft and squishy and you have to have a little protection from the elements. So they're not like, 27 feet tall. They're quite short, but still you see there's this area of space in which no birds are flying over.
Has it always looked this way?
He looks down at you and gives you a very tight-lipped smile, something that you recognize as being pained and forced. And he says, "No, it did not always look this way. This was at one point one of our most beautiful testaments to the wonders of Al-Jinn and our world. But it is best to show you." And he whips the steed, and you go at a quick pace in. And as you pass through this wide open gate, you are greeted with an awful stench. And you see that everything in the walls has died.
So that lovely, wet, decaying leaf smell in autumn, but worse. Okay. Yum. Are there any people about? Like, I'm just observing everything. I'm so confused. I've never seen decay or rot like this.
No, there are no people. Well, that's not true. There are people, but they are all dead, and they seem to have fallen randomly. It's not like bodies are piled, but there are people in the streets. You can see there's a door open and someone has fallen in the door as if they were leaving or entering their home. And as Brocken takes you through, he continues to navigate the cart, kind of trying difficultly to navigate across the path on which bodies are in the way. And at one point he pulls the horse to a stop, and he dismounts the cart and holds a hand to you and says, "Will you take a walk with me, child?"
And at this point, I think, like, my face is just one of horror. Because we've just taken a stroll through, like, dead, decaying bodies, rot everywhere. And I'm only a child, so I'm not sure what's going on, so I'm going to take his hand. But I look very uneasy.
He sees that you are uneasy, and as he helps you down from the cart, he very, very briefly hugs you. Not like a deep hug, but he kind of just, you're a little shorter than him. You're very tall. As a Minotaur, you grew very quickly, but he still has some height on you. You know, he still feels like an adult, and he just kind of quickly presses you against him, and he cups the back of your head, and he says, "Be strong. This is also part of nature."
But they are unburied, open to the sky. Where is everybody?
He lets go of you and begins to walk away at a slow pace, indicating that you are to follow, but he does not answer your question.
I let out a little, like, huff and naughty huff, and I follow, only because I don't want to be left with dead body.
Yeah. As you follow him, he keeps his pace very slow and deliberate. He doesn't seem to be in a hurry. He walks around any bodies that are in his way. And as he steps at one point in this, what was once like a fern that has kind of decayed into this like wet mess. And he steps in it and looks down and makes a tisking sound before continuing. And he looks at you and says, "What is our duty to nature?" And as he says this, he kind of puts his hands behind his back and like lifts his head as if he's about to impart a lesson. Like this is just another stroll in which you are teaching the youth. He seems very unperturbed.
To cultivate it, grow it, and strengthen it.
Yes. We are part of nature. She created us, all of us. And she created those of us with the will and the dedication to protect the more fragile components. We are gifted in ways that others are not. We have a language that allows us to communicate with others in ways that the deer are unable, and so it is our duty to protect the deer. Do you see what I mean? We are not better than them. We are but their humble guardians, a task that is both awesome and numbing in its power.
But deep in their roots, all flowers keep to their light.
You see, some of us have forgotten our duty to nature. We have forgotten that we are only here to serve. It is not our place to overcome, to beat back the forest, to live in stone houses divorced from the cold, from the warmth. You must remember that bounty is a gift from Al-Jin, but so too is famine. For nature is a cycle, and we do not always benefit from it.
I see.
And as he walks, he heads towards the center of the encampment, which you know is built similarly to yours, though you've never been here. You're kind of recognizing the layout, and you understand that he is taking you to the main hall, where you gather every night for your meals. This is where you would see talks, TED Talks. This is where you would kind of see anything that comes. This is like the main community center. And he stops outside of the doors and he looks at you and he says, "What you are about to see is difficult. Will you be strong?"
I will.
He offers you his hand.
I take it with my 3 fingers.
He takes your hand and he begins up the steps and he opens the door. And as he opens the door, you are greeted with something you've never seen before. There are more bodies in here, but there are also the carcasses of animals that have been stuffed and mounted on the walls.
It's like the heads or...
Mm-hmm.
How many?
There are dozens. All from no two are the same. There are deer and rabbits. There's a bear in all of its glory, kind of arched up on its hind legs with its arms in the air and its face in a roar. And they are all just on display.
Why has anyone done this? I say, inspecting the beer. I want to touch it. Is it like hard or soft? Like
It's soft. Feels like a real bear. It's rigid. It's standing up, but it feels when you touch it, your fingers, sink into the fur, and it feels incredibly lifelike.
What about the flesh underneath the fur? What's that like?
When you touch it, it's hard. It's not. There's definitely no flesh. There's no give. Like you're not able to poke fat. It definitely feels like you're poking, the wall or the ground. There's no give, but the fur feels real. And you can feel the leather of its skin, that hard, familiar texture.
It is like it's made out of stone.
You see, at some point, the people of Sanctified Oak considered that perhaps their duty was not to protect nature, but to master it. And they began hunting. A crime in Laka. A crime against nature. And so Al-Jin, with all of her wisdom, and he quickly bows his head, saw fit to reward them for what they had taken by unleashing a plague.
So this is their punishment.
This is their punishment. They thought to better nature. They thought they knew best. And so we remind them that nature is only giving so long as it is not taken.
I have a question.
Of course. I would be shocked if you did not. And he smiles. You can tell, even though you're not, particularly versed in body language, that he does not seem upset at what he is seeing. He is very calm and calculating, and you feel as if to him this is just another day. He doesn't seem to be perturbed by any of what he has seen. The trophies, the dead bodies, the rot, nothing.
Why can the cougar hunt the deer, but we cannot?
He looks down at you and his brow furrows for just a moment. And he says, when the cougar hunts the deer, does it take its body, strip it of its meat, its organs, leave what it does not want, and then display what it finds enjoyable?
No, but we take the antler and we make bracelets from it. Is that not the same?
It is not the same.
We take the pelt and we make the blanket. Is it not the same?
We use what we take. We take only those that will be of use in every aspect. We ground the liver. We take the heart and we are able to make medicine from it. The pelt keeps our children warm. The bracelets give us power. They imbue us with the agile strength of the antelope. It is not the same as stuffing it, displaying it, showing that we were better than it, and so we deserve its bounty. We are not better than the antelope. We too are hunted by cougars and bears. They could kill any one of us. And we would never seek vengeance on it. We are simply part of the cycle. This, and he motions to everything in the room. This is waste. This is thinking they own nature. They deserve to display it.
I understand.
He looks at you and he squats and says, "Do you understand?"
Yes, I think I do.
It is a burden that we must protect nature so fiercely. It would be easier if we could live our lives without knowing what we know, but we know how precious it is and how any one of us can have impure urges to conquer that must be quenched.
Despite the people here dominating nature, nature still found its way to punish me. They have mastered nothing.
He smiles and he cups your hand between his, cups your face between his hand and says, "Yes, we will never outbeat nature, and we will never escape what Al-Jin feels is appropriate. And she knows best, does she not?"
Always.
Always. And he stands up again and begins to walk, and you continue your day with him, walking through this, making sure that everyone is dead. And this is what you remember as you are laying in bed in a hotel in Serenity Pass, thinking of the implications of druids from Laka being sent to deal with a human problem.
It seems I am trying to fight nature.
And I think we will go now to the morning. You have fully rested. Gerbil, you are rested. Asuka, you have meditated. Mr. Blobby, you have rocked the baby all night. And it is now morning and time to get up. Who do you think is the first to wake up?
Asuka's usually up pretty early because
Yeah.
they always do their sword forms in the morning, practice and whatnot. So they only need the 4 hours meditation.
Okay. You're the first to wake up then. And you see that everyone else is still asleep/resting, whatever that means for them.
Gerbil is locked in the bathroom.
You were locked in the bathroom.
Right, Gerbil's locked in the bathroom. He's in the bathtub with the water running.
I was about to say, does Gerbil I think probably Asuka was probably aware of Gerbil getting up at some point to go to the bathroom. Just because they're sort of in a half, trance-like state, but they're sort of aware of what's going on. And they'll go and knock on the bathroom door. They'll knock again. They have no way to communicate with you inside. You can't see them, so they can't write anything or make any signs to you.
You're just doing shaving a hair.
I'm just trying to Morse code it through.
Give me 5 minutes. I'm not dressed.
That's all they needed to really know. They just wanted to make sure you were okay. And then they'll just proceed outside to find like a little clear space to do their sword forms. You are muted, Hev.
I'm just going to do a little gentle retcon because I was just reminded that someone wanted to do something. So you're back already?
Yeah, he would have been back by morning.
Okay, second flashback. Light flashback. After... So, Mr. Bobby, you had been remembering when you first went to the capital of Jadir and your dear friend kind of hinting that maybe everything wasn't quite as beautiful as it seemed, kind of what went into maintaining that beauty. And as you come out of that revere, those memories, you have the baby that you've rocked to sleep and it's slumbering peacefully. Aristomachi is asleep on the bed. Gerbil, I think at this point, has probably locked himself in the bathroom because you guys were all doing your memories at the same time, and they all took about the same amount of time. So your memories are all ending right about now. So as your memory is ending, you see Gerbil go into the bathroom and run the water, and you see Asuka in the corner meditating. And you are awake in the dark with your party members in the bathroom sleeping, meditating. And you have this little baby that you've made a little cradle for. What would you like to do?
I'm going to schlep over to the bed that Gerbil has decided not to use, and kind of using my, some pseudopods to just rock up some bedding in a vaguely kind of oval shape. And I'm going to gently deposit the baby and kind of make sure it's not waking up. And then I'm going to ooze my way out the window and down the side of the hotel.
Okay. Yeah, the baby doesn't wake up. It's super sleepy. This baby is gone through so much, and his little body just really needs to catch up on that sleep debt. And so he kind of burbles a bit, but stays asleep. And you are able to leave. And as you leave, you pass by Dr. Sporin's room, and you can hear him snoring really loudly. But there's no one else in this hotel. Dr. Sporin had told you that because he had rented out all of the rooms, he had told the woman who was working the front desk that she could leave. So there's no one to stop you or to see you as you head out.
I just make my way to like the nearest window and just like go down the side of the building because it's just an expedience thing. And I would head back out following the road we'd come in by to find that spot in the desert where we buried the baby's parent singular. Just focused as I'm like rolling along at my max 20-foot speed because Dr. Sporin saying the baby's mother buried in the desert would be quite easy to find, and just that slight paranoia of the baby needs to be secret. People have tried to hurt us. And also misgivings they had about burying something perfectly good in the arid wasteland. Anyway, just drives Mr. Blobby out to tidy up again. Quietly and quickly.
Okay. All right, so are you going to, what did you call it? Subsume?
Yeah.
Are you going to subsume the mother?
Yeah. Just pseudopod, big shovel pseudopod, just kind of like uncover and then just subsume quickly. And
Is
then
there
head back
any
to the
reason
hotel.
that you're doing this secretly? Like, why are you doing this at night?
Mr. Blobby would tell himself it's because they're on a mission and he's worried about the baby's safety and anyone could just come along and uncover it and there are already people after us. But mainly it's because he knows Aristomache would disapprove and he doesn't want to get in trouble. That's the main reason. But yeah, so he just, it's better to just ask forgiveness than permission, so.
All right. Okay. You are able to decompose it. Is it like when you eat it, is it decomposition? Is that the right word? Or it's more like,
it's more like dissolving. It's more like acidic, sort of.
Okay.
Just, they get some. It's like when you drop a tablet in water. It just kind of fizzes until it's nothing. But it doesn't actually fizz.
or Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
You give this mom an acid bath. You reduce her. It's like when you make jelly, and you're reducing the strawberries down with the sugar. You make a nice human reduction, and you are able to do this.
It's like a bath bomb.
Yes, it's. Is that like a reverse bath bomb? No, I guess it's a proper bath bomb. You bath bomb this mom.
Yeah.
And you. Actually, do you just like eat? You just swallow her whole, or do you like pat her? Do you take her clothes off, or do you like?
It's more just like settling over her, and then everything dissolves.
Okay.
Like clothes, everything. Unless Mr. Blobby makes a conscious effort not to dissolve something, it will dissolve.
Okay. Why don't you make me a? I guess just make me like a Constitution check.
Okay. 14.
14. Okay. Where's my, there we go. You subsume this woman, and as you're kind of like settling over her, you feel something kind of get like stuck. Like,
does she still have fungus on her? Oh
yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah, she does.
Whoops.
Well, the fungus isn't poisonous to you. Don't worry. It's the baby you got to worry about.
Yeah.
you feel like the equivalent of something like getting stuck in your like the back of your throat. You're kind of like.
Whatever it was, I would kind of like wiggle it up to like the surface of me and like try and just push it out.
Mm-hmm. It
It's
is.
like, oh, that's not going down. Let's see what it is.
It's a piece of paper. It's been folded multiple times.
Instead of like pushing it to the surface and kind of letting it drop off, I'll just like keep it stuck to my head.
Okay, it's stuck to your head, and you are able to eat this person, and they were now gone.
Just, tidy up. Can we say tidy up?
Okay, you tidy up. You tidy up.
Thank you. Eating is like a secondary thing that happens. So yeah, and then I would just kind of like squish the sand back, kind of just using the weight of me, and then head back to the hotel.
Okay. What did you say you do with the note? You just leave it on your head?
It's just stuck to the top of my head.
Okay. So you go back, and now it's daytime, and now Asuka has woken up, and now they've knocked on the door really loud to the bathroom, and they've gone down to Asuka probably like do your sword stances in the hallway, or you could go down to the lobby, You know what? Actually, there's a yoga room. You could go to the yoga room.
There's a yoga room. That's perfect.
With the big wall mirror.
It has some foam rollers, and it has like a basket full of mats that are all rolled up, and it has some straps.
Hopefully there's no one in there.
There's no one in there.
Okay.
I just pick up, when I come back, I pick up the baby and rock it again and pretend I've never left.
Okay.
Do we like pass each other on the way?
Well, if you want, actually, I will have Asuka, since you were up, technically, make me a perception check.
Okay.
Make me 2.
Make you 2%.
Yeah.
Well, the first one did not go great.
So you do not notice when Mr. Blobby gets... You do not notice that Mr. Blobby gets up to leave.
Yeah.
But at some point in your meditation, you do notice that Mr. Blobby has come back into the room. Mm-hmm. But you never saw him leave.
Yeah. Asuka doesn't say anything,
Okay.
My dad is a cool dad.
So long as everyone's okay, and
he's like, as long as you were being safe, I hope that you would come to me if anything happened.
As long as I have visual or like some form of evidence that you are physically okay. Asuka doesn't ask too many questions.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, they'll just go down and do their sword forms. I don't know what Gerbil does when they come out. When Gerbil comes out and there's no one actually at the door waiting for him.
Gerbil, Aristomachi. When do you wake up, Aristomachi?
So that last day that we just had was pretty hard on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I ran a lot, and I punched a lot, and I got hurt a little bit. And I think I used up all my key points. So I reckon I'd be the last one up.
Okay, you want like a full 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I don't want to lay in, so my mum, I'm not mommy tall.
Okay.
Gerbil will be up before Aristomachi then, and will walk to the door and open the door and look around for... I mean, he'd know it was Asuka, because, like, gauntleted hand. Who would knock with a gauntleted hand?
Yeah.
So he just looks around.
That's how you tell. We each have a different knock, right? Like...
Yeah. Asuka is like a gauntleted, like, knock, knock, knock. Aristomachi just puts their hand through the wall. And, like, Mr. Blobby, you just get, like, the littlest kind of, like, ooze under the door. Like,
I feel like if Mr. Blobby does knock, it's like a wet slapping sound on the door.
Like, the hand, the gooey hand that was, like, on the string that you could, like, hit people with from a distance? Like that.
Mr. Blobby would just stand outside and go, knock, knock.
Okay.
Ow.
Everyone is up then. Aristomachi, you wake up after a full 8 hours and you feel like surprisingly rested. This bed was very comfortable. It was a Casper mattress. The hotel owner had gotten a free code from a podcast. And,
Oh my god, no!
For $50 off and free shipping.
$50 off free shipping, the 90 night sleep or whatever.
Guarantee.
And it's like free delivery in the US. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Are we sure it's not one of those purple mattresses?
Either that or stamps.com.
Yeah, well, yeah, the hotel also uses stamps.com.
Oh no.
What
And
about...
Third Love. They have very many bras.
Yeah.
Hello,
What about
Crash.
MeUndies? What about MeUndies?
And MeUndies. This hotel owner is such a bargain hunter, and they really appreciate all the codes that they get. But you know what they appreciate the most is who are our sponsors? Tabletop Loot. They is that one of our sponsors?
Kind of, yeah. More Mage Hand Press, maybe? Or
Mage Hand Press. They love using Mage Hand Press. They shop always with Devin Rue. And
Hashtag some sponsors, some fake sponsors. You have to figure out which.
if Casper Mattress wants to sponsor this episode, I'm okay with it.
So does this mean that there's a copy of Dark Matter on the shelf?
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to pick that up as I'm like getting ready. I'm running my hair through my braids. And still feeling really sad about my nubbed horns.
Aww.
But yeah, I'm going to pack that. Maybe that's something fun we could do on the road.
At some point, I would probably have attempted to feed the baby using the rag and bottle method, because while Aristomache is having a lie-in, the baby would probably get noisy. So I'd just be like, "Oh, what have I seen her do?" Just sticking the rag in the bottle and being like,
Perfect. Are you dumping the bottle on the baby?
"No,
Is that
I'm
what you're
holding
doing?
it above the baby." Just like,
Okay.
Can you?
You are upending the bottle
No.
above the baby.
I have shoved the rag into the
Okay.
neck of the bottle.
So you're hoping the rag is going to stop the flow as you do.
Yes, the rag should soak it up like a Molotov cocktail. The rag should soak it
Okay,
up.
you're Molotov cocktailing the baby's breakfast. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I'm not gonna throw it at him, but yeah. Just sticking the rag in the top.
Incoming!
And then trying to get the rag to the face of the baby. I don't have eyes. This is all quite difficult.
Okay.
I'm not sure how blind sight works.
I'm gonna make a roll for the baby, and we're gonna. I'm making.
Am I making a baby handling roll?
I'm making a dexterity roll for the baby. So the baby. It's not gonna cut it. You guys are level 10 characters. 11s just don't pass any longer.
But the baby
The
is
level 10 baby. The level 10 baby.
It's a level 1 druid.
The baby is trying to suckle, so you're holding this bottle over the baby, and it's trying to suckle, and it's grasping with its fingers, and it pulls the rag out of the bottle, and milk just you essentially waterboard this baby with milk, and it begins to cry.
Okay, and then a pseudopod just like snakes out and starts gently poking Aristomache in the side, like, "Help!"
So, Aristomache, you had been getting a really good night's sleep on your super nice mattress with your Brooklinen sheets, and you wake up to this baby screaming.
I tried to feed the baby, but it didn't work.
And Mr. Blobby poking you.
Since Gebble's already up, could he try and dive in and stop Mr. Blobby from waking Aristomache? Just appear, just like, "Don't worry, Mr. Blobby! I'll help!"
Okay, what do you do, Gerbil?
I just
And
use...
Alma Dad has left me with the 3 kids.
Our dad has left the room. He's not even here. He's like, I don't care. Asuka, you probably hear a bit of commotion from your yoga room down the hall, but it's probably nothing to worry about. Gerbil, what are you doing? So you have a baby that's You have a baby that's covered in milk. It's hollering.
I have a fresh napkin. I'm just gonna like clean up its face.
Okay, you clean up the baby's face.
And then look
Okay.
I think I'll just use my fingers. Everything's gonna be much easier with fingers, right? So I'm just gonna like use my fingers to dip things in the bottle and then put in the baby's mouth.
Okay. Roll me a baby handling.
A baby handling. That's animal handling, right?
It's animal handling.
Yeah. It's baby handling now.
I don't suppose I could convince you that it's sleight of baby.
I would like to roll a baby performance check.
Oh, I love this.
The baby is gonna, suck on your fingers because they're covered in milk, but it is also gumming you really hard. And it doesn't hurt, but it's just kind of uncomfortable.
And he would deliberately be using the finger that he had blunted the other day. Remember when playing with the baby?
Yeah, that's right. You had been cutting your nails. Okay. The baby is still kind of fussy, but it seems to be at least a little bit appeased with this solution. It's getting its breakfast. It's still a little sticky, and it doesn't see. It's like looking up at you, and its eyes are narrowed. Like it's a little suspicious. It's not 100% buying that this situation is resolved on its end, but for the moment.
I know,
exactly
baby.
How they look.
I am not a mummy. I get that. But if we work together, with Mr. Blobby's help, we can work this out.
Gently poking Aristomache, like, we can.
Yeah, Mr. Blobby, stop trying to wake up Aristomache. They're very tired, and then they'll be grumpy all day.
But she knows what to do.
Aristomache, I'll say that you're probably awake, so whether or not you want to announce that you're awake, or if you want to pretend you're still sleeping, is up to you.
I think the poking has gotten like less panicked and it is now kind of like just like a pack.
Yeah, I think I'm just like laying there, like dead eyes, listening to them.
Okay.
Wondering why the room smells of milk.
I will stop hitting Aristomache and just like using the tiniest pseudopod will just kind of like clean up the baby. You know, like kind of like a lint roller but for milk.
Oh, don't you have prestidigitation?
He's not thinking right.
Right. It's a panicky situation. There's a lot going on.
I mean, at least we don't have to worry about paying damage fees to the hotel. You can just.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clean person.
Do you have a spoon?
No, I don't have a. Why would I have?
What about one of them rings or something? There's got to be something in there that's spoon-shaped.
I have a spoon.
Do I have anything that's spoon-shaped? I probably do have like a couple of silver spoons in there somewhere. Probably. But they'd be like dessert spoons, you know, like really big, shiny ones.
There are probably spoons at the continental breakfast.
We're too panicked to move.
I think
gently like bobbing the baby like, oh,
as Aristomache says that they've got a spoon, Gerbil is already like tearing out of the room, like double dashing, bonus action and action, 90-foot speed to go down to the continental breakfast to try and find a spoon.
Just like gently jigging the baby, like now that Gerbil's finger is gone, just like, don't scream, please don't scream. La 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 la, I'm sorry, I have no hands.
Could you not make a pseudopod spoon?
I don't think I have the dexterity for that. It would be more like literally like cupping your hands together. That's like the dexterous amount that it would be, and I would probably smother the baby trying to put it to its face.
Fair enough.
Gerbil, you're able to get a spoon at the continental breakfast, and as you rush down there, Dr. Sporin is already up. And he's eating breakfast. He's eating a muffin. And he says, good morning.
There's no time!
I should grab the spoon and leave.
He looks perturbed, but doesn't say anything. He has become used to your eccentric shouts. You make it back up to the room with your spoon. You've been gone for like 40 seconds. It was super quick.
Right. Where's
Did you
is
get the
there,
spoon?
I've got a spoon. Is there any milk left?
Because was I using? What do we keep the milk in? Do we actually decant it into another bottle, or is it just
No,
your?
We
Okay,
keep
I
it in
was
my
just-
alchemy
I
jar.
was just using the endless milk.
The endless milk is pouring into the
It's
hotel.
not. It's not endless.
It's not endless.
Um,
it just refills.
Oh, okay.
It's
I thought
and
it
it only
was
refills for a couple of gallons, but I don't have my notes
I
to tell you how
I
many.
don't think I would have poured an entire gallon. Of
I don't
milk
think it
over
would have
there.
been. You would have as soon as like the rag
As soon
came
as
out.
yeah,
you
I would
would've,
have.
like.
Yeah.
It's
So,
just
yeah.
you're fine. You still have. I'll say you still have like at least half of the milk. It had just refreshed. It had just filled, but yeah.
He's doing his best.
Okay, Mr. Blobby.
Okay, so we
I-
have more milk.
I will navigate the spoon with milk towards the baby. You have to make, like, wagon noises or something.
Here comes the wagon.
Trust
Oh.
me.
Hey! And just like, makes the little, I'm basically now a sit-up seat for the baby. Okay.
Okay,
Ready?
roll me a dexterity check, Herbal.
Could I make that sleight of hand?
What? No, you're not trying to you are kind of trying to trick the baby. I will
It's a
allow.
call.
I
And we
will-
are using misdirection because I'm making the
I
wagon
will
noises.
allow sleight of hand. I will allow it. I will allow it. All right, there it is. You did it. You get the spoon into the baby's mouth.
Rumble, rumble, rumble. Nay.
It's
Rumble,
really weird,
rumble.
actually, how similar getting a spoon of milk into a baby's mouth is to picking a lock.
I will take your word for it. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Wagon noises.
Okay.
Eventually, Mr. Blobby will give up and literally just use prestidigitation to make a wagon noise.
You do it. You guys feed the baby. It's super full and it spits up and then it poops.
I just clean it up. That's fine. Prestidigitation.
Is that how you guys are? I know we decided we weren't going to do this is not a baby like an infant rearing simulator, but is that how you're dealing with that? Are you prestidigitating its little butt napkin every time?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Because we don't exactly have spare nappies or anything, so it's just in its onesie.
I love it.
So
You never.
every time
I
that
just
happens, it's
now
like,
realize
"Hold
how nice it would be to have some type of magic user in your family if you had a baby.
on." This is why every time someone says, "Oh, if you could have one spell," it's like prestidigitation. You don't even have
Yeah.
to think. It's a cantrip. You could use it constantly.
So
for
easy to
everything.
clean babies, horse stalls,
Oh.
the oven, the
I need to
bath.
get
Take your
changed.
makeup off really fast.
Yeah, I need to get changed. I'll just put this in the wash. Whoom,
Yeah.
hang it up.
Done. You would never need to brush your teeth again. Just gone.
If you really didn't like someone, you could make their soup cold right as they're about to take a
Yeah,
bite.
yeah.
Yeah, or make it taste funny.
Or
no,
make it
that's
really
just, that's
salty.
just evil.
Yeah.
Messing with
Make
someone
their
else's
ice
soup.
cream hot.
Yeah.
Okay. The baby has been appeased for the moment. It's well fed. It's just gotten rid of all of its inside things that were making its tummy hurt. It's clean.
We burped it.
You burped the baby, you changed the baby, and you hear a knock on your door. And right after you hear the knock, Dr. Sporin says, "Good morning."
Hide! Oh, wait, does Mr. Spory know about the baby?
Yes, he does. He's the
yes,
one who told you
We
about it.
found the baby. Girl, your memory's getting bad.
Gerbil is
Gerbil
getting
really
very
shook.
stressful.
Gerbil's like sawed out. Like,
Does he know?
It's been a very stressful morning.
You already have your knife out and you're like, "Just Dr. Sporin."
At least Dr.
The
Sporin isn't a
frazzled parents at this point, like open the door, like
Are we just now just like the frazzled parents in the
Yeah.
morning?
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
What do you
Anyone
want?
speaks to you, you're holding the baby like, what is it
Don't you dare
now?
wake this. Don't you dare wake this child. I will murder you.
Yep.
I think Gerbil will go to the door and be like, shh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, it's me,
look-
Dr. Sporin.
If we wake them now, they'll be grumpy all day. They've only just got a chance to sleep properly.
The baby won't be sleeping.
No, not the baby Aristomachi.
Oh, yeah, we should go and let her sleep.
Yes.
Well, then will you come out here so we can talk about our plans for the day? We have many things to discuss.
Yes, but breakfast first, because if we talk without Aristomache, she'll also be mad. And she can stand on all of us at the same time.
Okay,
I'm just gonna
okay.
do like the ooze thing, you know, like the Mr. Fantastic thing of slipping like an appendage under the door and opening the door from the outside.
Why?
Because I really like the image of just Dr. Sporin stood there while this thing just flaps out at him.
The important question
Quiet,
here
obviously.
is does Mr. Blobby's talking about Aristomachi standing on them awaken anything in Dr. Sporin?
No, Dr.
Stand
Sporin
on me,
is very
Mr.
vanilla.
Stand on me, cow mom.
Dr. Sporin is very vanilla. He doesn't even know what that means. He wouldn't even know to be excited by that. And there's
Oh.
nothing wrong with being vanilla. I'm just saying
No,
that's
of
the
course not.
preferences.
Mr. Bobby doesn't even understand any of that. Squishy business.
He just says, yes, that sounds terrible. No one wants to be stepped on. All right, well, meet me down at the 24-hour continental breakfast buffet. Ned is here. And then he leaves.
Just kind of like the baby swivels towards Gerbil because I don't have a face. Does Ned know about Boo Boo? Should we?
No, we didn't tell Ned about the boo-boo, but we did tell Dr. Sporin.
Do you think Dr. Sporin has told Ned about the Boo Boo?
Well, that's a very good question. But I do know...
Boo Boo up here with Aristomache?
Oh, I don't know, but...
Because she can hide him in her sling. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, right, I was wondering what you were going for.
Mr. Blobby wouldn't have gestured. You know, that's just shakes. Forgetting the word for sling.
Still, the hesitation.
We could do that, yes. I also think we should hide the decorative horns that I got Aristomache, because Ned might recognize them.
Didn't you already hide them in your many pockets?
I don't think Aristomachi's doing them.
I never gave
I
them
don't
back.
think anyone's going to search you. I mean, I do keep you clean, but it's still not a happy prospect.
You do what?
Nothing.
Flashback to Mr. Blobby prestidigitating everyone in their sleep.
Yeah, which you would know about because you don't sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm well aware of it. Asuka thinks it's nice.
Asuka just lets it happen, like, just leave me. It's
yeah.
fine.
I mean, it's less maintenance Asuka has to do on their armor, to be honest.
See, Armor Dad is practical. So, yeah.
As long as your mom doesn't find out, I'm not going to have a problem with it.
Oh no. So yeah, so we'll leave, and just kind of like schleps back over to the bed and puts the baby back in the previously made nest of blankets, which is just there. So we leave the Boo Boo up here, and then we go down and see what Dr. Sporin has been talking about all morning with other people.
Mr. Blobby, are you worried that Dr. Sporin is telling everyone about his human baby research?
Yes, aren't you? He talks a lot.
Is
and
he
then
still
says
here?
nothing. No, he's
No,
gone
he went down for the continental breakfast.
You wake Aristomachi, I'll go and get Asuka.
You're just saying that because I don't show the bruises.
Unless you split in two, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go. I'll do that thing.
Gurb will trot down to the yoga room.
Asuka! Asuka?
He can't answer back.
I think eventually, like they're probably done with their sword forms at this point, so they'll, have gone through ceremony and and forms and resheath their weapons, and they will open the door to the yoga room and step outside as stop Gerbil, wrap an arm around Gerbil as Gerbil's running by.
Just clothesline him.
and then make a sign for no running in the hallway.
Oh, monitor Asuka.
Don't worry, Asuka, that's just a rule.
And they'll look at you and tilt their head.
Okay. Now,
this is their what do you want look. I think that Gerbil is familiar with.
Dr. Sporrin would like to speak to us about what our plans are for the day. And Mr. Blobby's worried that they're telling everyone about their human research.
Oh, I love him.
Asuka will tilt their head and then nod. And then sort of start going back up to the room.
Mr. Blobby has been ever so gently just once again poking Aristomachi.
They get back to the room, they look around. Is there still milk on stuff, or has that been cleaned up
No,
by now?
I have
It's been
cleaned
cleaned
that
up. It's been
Okay.
cleaned up.
Okay. And they will look at Mr. Blobby and see if Aristomachi's still sleeping.
Or pretending to sleep, we're not
Or
sure yet.
pretending to sleep. And then, is the baby sleeping?
The baby would be awake, but kind of just...
It's in a milk
Gurgling.
coma.
Yeah, just kind of
It's in a milk coma. We'll motion to leave the baby with Aristomachi.
Should we wake her up first? No? Okay.
Asuka's got a passive perception of 15. I think Asuka can maybe tell that Aristomachi's pretending to sleep.
Okay. Mr. Blobby just, to be honest, does what either Asuka or Aristomachi tells him to do most of the time. He's kind of okay! And just squelches out of the door. Did you know, as they're going past, did you know Ned's downstairs? I don't think we invited him. I don't think it's a good idea. He doesn't seem... I don't know if he knows about... And pseudopods just wiggle. The boo-boo code word.
Yes.
New
Asuka will sort of nod and then motion to leave the baby with Aristomachi.
Okay! Squelps downstairs and proceeds to subsume a quarter of the continental breakfast.
Okay.
You just stand over the buffet table. Just...
Yeah, literally.
As you get downstairs,
left alone, just
as you get downstairs, you see Dr. Spore, and he's sitting at a table, and he has a muffin in front of him and a cup of coffee. And you see Ned sitting across from Dr. Spore with his feet up on the table. And he looks at you all, the three of you, as you come downstairs, and he's like, "Pigeon arrived last night. It's got some pretty cool information on it."
Is it a poem?
No, why would it be a poem?
This one did. Nothing. Never mind. These muffins are really good.
Asuka will have brought down their little tea making set
Okay.
and will acquire some hot water from
There's probably a
they're not
kettle
just
by
gonna-
the fire.
yeah, they'll acquire they'll set up by the fire for a few moments to warm their water
Okay.
and make their tea and hand out. They don't have enough teacups for everyone.
Oh, what a bummer.
Mr. Blobby just kind of squelps over and like makes a dent in themselves. Like, you can just pour it in.
I think they'll make the tea and give everyone else a cup since there's 4 others, and then we'll just hold the teapot in their hands
Okay, that's so sweet.
and
Oh,
just enjoy the.
Dr. Sporin, is that your second muffin?
Dr. Sporin looks slightly embarrassed that you've just asked him that question, but he says, no, this is actually my 4th muffin.
they are
Fair
good.
enough.
They're very good. They have chocolate chips in them, and I do love chocolate chips.
Are you about to
Stop
shame
what
Dr.
that
Sporn for
bumpiness
not eating enough
is.
muffins?
No, I was just wondering how many muffins. So is it like a... Is there a limit on how many muffins you can have?
Is there a limit on how many muffins I personally can have, or is there a limit on how many muffins one can have from the 24/7 continental breakfast buffet?
Both? Why not both?
Well, I have not yet reached the limit of how many muffins I can take from the buffet. And I typically eat about 7 muffins a day. It's my main food group. It's everything that I need. You can do sweet muffins or savory muffins. It's easy to eat while I'm traveling or writing or reading.
A savory muffin?
And the
Mhm.
paper's quite nice too.
He looks at you and he nods, kind of like, sure, yeah. And I think we're gonna take a break now, as you all are settling in around the table, grilling Dr. Sporn about how many muffins he make, and Ned is kind of just looking between all of you, and he's like, oh,
I have 7 charisma. I have to grill people about random things and make it seem like I'm shaming them sometimes.
What? You have 7 charisma?
Yes.
not very charismatic.
I also have
Oh
7
my
charisma.
goodness! Oh my goodness! Hold on! Hold on!
I'm-
Alex is so charismatic. Because he's the strong silent type.
Yeah, but I'm not very good at persuasion because it's a lot more difficult when.
It's worrying when the jelly is the most charismatic one.
Well, I'm actually not.
I'm sure Ristomasti is very
Yes.
very
That's true.
charismatic. Let's take a break and we'll come back in like 5-10 minutes or something.
See you in a bit, everyone.
Ah!
Oh, hi everyone! We are back with coffee and talk of donuts and Oreos. I don't know why I'm
Okay.
still talking. Yeah, Heavenly, I'll give it to you.
Well, so you all are having breakfast with Dr. Sporin and Ned. That's what it looks like. Aristomachi is still upstairs with the baby, pretending to sleep, maybe getting a little extra sleep because she was super tired. And you are staring down a teenager who looks really apathetic about your conversation about muffins.
Do I automatically win staring contests because I don't have eyes? It's very
Yes.
important.
Yes, you do.
Except with Asuka.
Well, yeah. I mean, technically, you have like eye holes, so like.
Yeah, but I don't blink.
I don't have eyes or any physical features.
Our staring contests are in the Guinness World Record.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They
They
have
are
not-
something to behold.
At some point, we just like start looking at other things and no one can tell. Sorry.
So we were talking about plans for the day. And punching microphones.
And Dr. Sporin says, yes, we were attempting to converse last night before you all decided to go to bed. Apparently you had a very tough few days about where you were going next to continue our investigation.
Asuka will look at the group and then we'll take out their journal and charcoal. And we'll write down. Did y'all tell them about the people we found in the caves? And specifically that there's like an organization out there.
No,
from
we
Laka?
didn't tell Dr. Sporin about the altercation. We literally just said that we went into the caves, found what he had found. Then we came out of the caves and buried the mother. And then we came here. We didn't mention the
Let's go
the
write
Laka.
down. Should we mention the Laka? I don't know what to call them. Order. Look, pointed at you two.
Because we hadn't mentioned really anything to him, had we? We decided that we didn't trust him all of a sudden.
I think we decided that he's invested in one way, and we're not sure if it's the same way we're invested. And
Okay.
also, he can't keep his big mouth shut, as evidenced by Ned.
I think
Alright.
I love Ned.
as the only person with a visible head to shake, Goebel will sort of look at Asuka and
Okay. Asuka will then bring their paper back, flip a couple pages, write down. Oh, look who's back.
Yay!
hey, welcome
Hello.
back. You're muted.
You're muted,
You're muted.
on Zoom.
Hello. Sorry.
You're
It's
okay.
okay.
Aristomachi's having a bit of a sleep in with the baby.
Oh, cool.
The baby is in the bed next to you, and I still think you're asleep. I think Asuka knows that you were faking it. So
Okay,
we've
cool.
just like left you up there with the baby because Ned is downstairs.
Yeah, Ned and Dr. Sporin are having a continental breakfast.
Yeah, you definitely would have
Um,
heard that while you were like pretending to sleep. That
Yeah.
they wanted to discuss plans
So-
for the day.
Okay.
And we basically decided to leave the baby upstairs because we don't know if Ned knows that that we have a baby.
Smart. Good thinking, team. I approve of all of this.
Yay! Fight Mom
Yeah.
approves.
Yeah, Asuka will sort of just write down, like, because we're not sure what we're gonna do yet, right? So we
I
don't.
think we were leaning towards Jadir just because no one got executed there.
Ah,
We were supposed to make plans in our room, but we didn't. We wanted to make plans away from the doctor. I know that much.
But we all fell asleep. Well,
Yeah.
two of
I
us
think
fell
Asuka,
asleep and the other two
Asuka will
didn't.
write down. We're not sure what we're doing yet. We're planning on figuring that out today. Point that sheet at them. At Dr.
Uh,
Sporn.
Dr.
Yeah.
Sporin reads your note and he kind of looks a little put out. And he says, well, you know, I would hate to put my opinion forward, but I do believe that going to Laka would yield interesting results, as my research partner has been working on a dig there. However, Ned thinks it's best to go to the place whose name I've forgotten, because I've only ever mentioned it once, the creepy place, Athos.
Is that where the alcohol is?
The alcohol.
That's what the alcohol is.
That's the alcohol.
The alcohol.
Yes, Ned's here. Hi, Ned. Hi.
Hi.
You said you had a pigeon?
Yes.
Is it a nice pigeon? They're really fluffy and taste good.
No, he's a working pigeon. He just was doing his job. He delivered a letter for Dr. Sporin late last night.
To you? That's not a very good working pigeon. That's
No.
a broken pigeon.
No. No. Dr. Sporin is here a lot. So anytime, and Dr. Sporin kind of interrupts and he says, anytime a note gets sent, pigeons go in many different directions. I am well-traveled and I have friends in every nation and every city. So it is difficult to track me down, but there are usually some known factors. And anyways, and he will take a parchment that has been rolled up and he will put it in the middle of the table. And he'll say, this was sent to me by my research partner, presumably before she was killed. It would be quite strange if she had sent it to me before, or rather after.
Very impressive. If she'd sent it to you after, I mean.
You're right, that would be very impressive.
So what did it say?
Yeah, Asuka was going to write that down and ask what.
Blobs up against the table like.
He unrolls it he just kind of spreads it flat with a couple of fingers on the table. And he'll read aloud and it says, they don't know everything, but they know enough.
That's cryptic and unhelpful.
What are you talking about? It's incredibly helpful. It means that they don't know everything. But
it means they know something.
Do know something, exactly. Something enough to kill her over.
That sounds like a place we should avoid then. I don't have a head, but I like it attached to me.
Could
Honestly,
Goebel, the secret scholar, the closeted scholar, investigate this document? Not only looking for like things, but also like just looking over with Thieves' Cant as well, just to see if there's a hidden message in the message, like Declaration of Independence style.
Okay.
You need Benjamin Franklin's glasses for that.
I can borrow some glasses.
Yeah, roll me an investigation check.
Oh yeah, my little sticky piece of paper is now on my back, not on my head. So they can't see it unless they go around me. Just in case.
You look at this note. It's a pretty small parchment. It was something that was rolled up small enough for a pigeon to hold. And it is just the sentence. They don't know everything, but they know enough. It is written kind of like in the center of this like piece of paper that's too big, but you don't really see anything. The handwriting's pretty sloppy. It slants very far to the left, which you know indicates a romantic personality. But other than that,
I'm sorry. So secret history buff who totally is into graphology. I love Goebel. I love him so much.
But it doesn't appear that there is a secret message. It's not coded in any way.
Mr. Blobby's right. It's not the most helpful. But it
I'll
is...
also write down. Oh, go ahead.
It is a little helpful. That's all I was going to say.
Let's go write down. Perhaps you all should have come up with some sort of code.
Well, to be entirely fair, we weren't sure that we had anything worth this level of secrecy until it was too late. Until really we weren't even in the same place. I haven't seen Dulzaz in months. I left Laka to come here to follow up on a lead that I didn't even really connect the dots for. This is all very sudden for me, as much as it is for you.
We can make a code right now if you like. All we need is a book that we've each got access to. We could use that Mage Hand Press book in the rooms. And when you need a word.
Says, Mage Hand Press, wow, they're my favorite. I have all of their books.
Yeah, they're great. I love them. But what we could do is we just write down the page number and word number of each word that we want to use, and then we've got a code. It's just numbers, and anyone who looks at it and doesn't have the book is just like, oh, I can see this is a codex code, but I need the book. Oh, very frustrating for rogues. If people just use simple thieves' can, it's really easy to understand, but using a codex book, oh, the amount of times.
Okay, that was a lot.
I was going right
Mr.
down.
Blobby is just like lent, like, you know, like a jelly that's just slowly falling over, just like lent away from Gerbil. Like, that's a lot of information. Get in 20 seconds.
That's a good idea, but it's gonna take time to implement.
Also, some of us can't write.
Only one of you can't write, so as long as you're always with someone who can write.
But then they know the code.
Mr. Blobby's just like, well,
You can't write with that attitude.
Gerbil can write. Anyone can write.
this is
Oswald-
Gerbil who takes like half an hour to write a page, you know? He's like,
You're just not trying hard
Yeah.
enough.
I'm literally at the toddler level of holding pens is wrong, and I.
You
can't
would
do it.
definitely have to hold like a bunch of them. You would.
Yeah.
You couldn't hold one, but you could do like 15, maybe.
Asuka. Yeah, that was weird lighting. Asuka will write down. I think we're leaning towards either Athos or Jadir, but we still needed some time today to discuss it with our other party member.
Gerbil
Perhaps we
would,
can get back to you later today.
Gerbil wants to try and send a secret message, and they saw Asuka use their pen to write it down, so they're gonna try and do that. They're gonna like go to Asuka and like gesture for the pen.
Asuka will hand you the charcoal stick that they have.
And like,
What?
We're gonna be here all day. We're gonna be here all day.
and like very quickly realizes that everyone's now looking at him. He's just like,
We should take Ned. We should find out more about Ned.
So I said
Dr. Sporn says, I can hear you. I am right here. You didn't speak in code. If you have any concerns about Ned, let me be the first to vouch for his
it's
stellar
not
reputation.
concerns. We're not concerned about anyone. I just
No, we
Like
don't have
Ned.
concerns.
You don't like Ned, and Ned's like,
no. I
where
know
are you
the
guys
opposite.
in my Ned cave?
The opposite. I like Ned. I love Ned. Ned's great. I'd want to spend more time with Ned.
Well, that's weird. You don't even know anything about me, God.
Mr. Blobby.
Do you even know when my birthday is?
It's sometime between the summer and the winter.
It was yesterday, and you didn't even say happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
It's too late.
Asuka will write
Blobby
down.
is
We literally
absolutely
met you
gonna do-
yesterday.
Mr. Blobby is gonna throw out a pseudopod and just like plop a birthday bro tiara on Ned's head and just like, Happy
No.
birthday!
Gerbil's gonna flash back. He was just remembering being a teenager, and it's gonna like bring so many flashbacks, and suddenly Gerbil's just like,
Ha! You still care about birthdays? What a kid!
Oh, no. So yeah, he's now wearing a slightly wonky birthday bro tiara.
He fights the urge to smile. He you put it on, and he's like,
Happy birthday to you.
Dr. Sporn is like, I think we are getting off topic.
Asuka just does the clap in between, just the.
While everyone is slightly focused on Ned and his birthday shenanigans, Mr. Blobby would like to very, very stealthily cast message.
Okay.
And just kind of like, a pseudopod, while he's waving his happy birthday dance, his pseudopod will point vaguely in the direction of Aristomache, and he will say, not at all secretly, I just think we should wait for Aristomache to come down so we can discuss this as a group. Happy birthday to Ned!
Asuka will write down and turn it towards you two. Perhaps we should bring breakfast to Aristomache. That'll give us time to discuss.
Dr. Sporen nods. Yeah.
No, this isn't towards Dr. Sporen. This is towards my party.
So, yeah. Aristomache just got that
Looks like we
bellowed
got a
in her
new
ear.
friend.
You can reply to that message, which you would know because I presume we use this spell occasionally.
Thank you very much, Poptillion the Feared and Raiders. Welcome.
Would I reply? Actually, yes, you get a very weird reply. The reply you get is, boo 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 boo.
There's a moment of like freeze in the wiggling. I mean, happy birthday to you. Oh.
Asuka's gonna flip to another page.
Welcome to the
I think we're gonna take
How many
breakfast
pages
up to our...
do you have in your notebook?
Enough. So there's difference. There's my journal, right? And that's something that's kept in my backpack. This is like I've got like a flip book almost.
Like one of those massive
enough.
sheets of just like stack of paper.
Yeah, I get a new one every time I stop at a general store. This being a I don't know if Hev can hear me, but this being a tourist town, this notebook has "come visit the glass caves" on it or something like that. It's a tourist notebook that I got from the general store. But he'll flip and be like, I think we're going to take breakfast up to our other party member and discuss. Can we meet again for dinner tonight?
Dr. Sporen nods. Yes, I suppose we can meet for dinner. I would hope that you would take my advice in this matter, but of course I understand that I hired you and you will do what you think is best to investigate the matter further. But just to reiterate my complete and unending trust in Ned here, I did tell Ned.
That you trust him?
No, about the baby.
That's something.
Yeah, pseudopod and suit of armor just fly across the table.
No one is here besides us. I did tell the person who owns the hotel to leave. It is just Ned, and Ned has been doing a lot of my research in the dark. And I felt that with the death of Dulzas, it would be nice to include someone else in our secret so that we maintain as much eyes on the prize as possible.
So we keep something secret by telling more people about it.
I've only told Ned. Ned.
Asuka puts their hands over both of them. Like they don't know where to put it on Mr. Blobby, but they stop. They're going to write down, as soon as there's silence, they're going to write down, always assume the walls have ears. And point it at both of them and make a shushing motion.
You shouldn't work in the dark too long. It hurts your eyes unless you've got some sort of innate racial ability.
Also, I don't have a mouth. That doesn't work on me.
That's why Asuka was going like...
No, I also don't have ears, so that thing about the walls makes sense. I mean, why would a wall have ears? It's kind of...
All right, I understand your trepidation. We do need to talk about this, but perhaps at dinner, I will be able to more effectively persuade you that I believe that Lathos is the right spot. But here, of course, Ned thinks that Anthok, or whatever the name of the place is that I keep forgetting because I don't know my
Yeah, I thought it was
Laka
Laka
and Athos.
Laka.
I've combined them now. They're one place. Ned here believes that Athos is the proper place to go. But there are many interesting leads in Jadir. I mean, it's something to think about. Here, I have prepared a dossier for you, if you will. And he has a little, like a little purse. And he rifles through his purse and he hands you a stack of papers. And he says, that's a map that has a couple of route options depending on where you want to go, and my summary of what you might find in each place. So look it over together, and at dinner we will be able to more properly discuss where we are heading next.
Okay, bye. Not moving.
Did Gerbil want to say something?
Do you want me to leave, or are you going up to the room? I'm also staying here.
Oscar will start gathering the teacups from everyone, and putting them back in their pack, and then we'll start gathering a plate of food for Aristomachi. A very large plate of food.
Mr. Blobby is just gonna like stack stuff on his head, and like so it's sticking to him like a breakfast hedgehog, and then just like slap away.
Gerbil is pulling exactly this face at Ned the whole time.
Ned is looking back at you and he's like,
Oscar will start steering Gerbil towards the exit. Come along.
Just put the gauntlet on his head and turn.
I was
around
bonding.
like
What are you doing? I was bonding. Why are you doing this?
And we'll just steer Gerbil towards their room.
okay.
As we return to our room, I suppose.
Oh, Aristomachi, are you up when they return, or are you still pretending to sleep?
No, I'm up, and I'm on the bed with the baby. My hooves are like touching together, and I kind of got like the baby in between, a gap in my legs, and I have their feet. I'm like blowing on them.
baby feet.
And making it squeal. And now,
The baby's so happy.
yeah, and baby talking to it.
I'm nanny door.
Yay!
Got
Nanny
nanny
door.
Eating muffins.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah,
We
just
love
the mic is
Mama.
right there.
And Oscar will make sure to knock on the door before entering.
Come in.
We'll usher Mr. Blobby.
Mr. Blobby will like squelch in, just covered in foodstuffs. Like, we brought breakfast.
It's like Mother's Day, right? Where you
Yes, exactly.
Do I have a card?
We'll kind of like ooze over and be like, how's the boo-boo, baby? Yep.
He's making this weird chuckling noise again.
Oh, they're nice.
Every
Kind of
time I
like,
do
you
this.
know-
And then she demonstrates and she blows into the foot again.
And it does that little
Wow!
like baby giggle that they do, you know?
Mr. Blobby's just like, wow, that's a good noise.
Oscar will
Kind
just
of
set
like-
down the platter on the table.
Mr. Blobby will move over to the table and just kind of like flump onto it and then like ooze away so the food just kind of falls onto the table. Like, breakfast.
Aska, I've been meaning to discuss with you about hotels. I know we need to talk about our plans, but I know you're very anti-stealing. But what if the things have been given to us? For example, this soap is for us to use, so we can take it all, right?
Oscar will write down, I see no problem with that.
And the light bulb is also ours to use.
You
The
mean
battery is out of the remote.
the torch?
Hello.
I already
Goblin
ate
in a
some of the
bathrobe.
soap. Royal drug.
Gerbil is really figuring out all the best ways to take advantage of this hotel.
Gerbil definitely takes the bathrobe, I bet.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everything. Everything.
In a move reminiscent of the first fatality of this of this. Is this short? Like, what's his face? Is Dr.
Oh, like it's like
It's like a afro.
Well, the bathrobes, you know, this is a hotel for all types of monsters. They have 3 different sizes. They have like big enough to fit anything that's between like 8 and 10 feet. Then they have like medium, and then they have small. You know.
Do
Definitely
they have
going for
any
the
small enough for the baby?
Baby pants.
Yeah, do they have any small enough for the baby?
And the small one is definitely, when you put it on Gerbil, it shows your little knobby knees. It's quite small.
I'm so glad you said knees.
Oscar will write down. Oscar will write down. Don't take anything they don't replace daily.
Don't take anything they don't replace daily. Oh.
I already ate some of the soap. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, I've got you a whole load more as well.
Okay, it's nice. It's very clean.
Did you go into the other rooms and take their soap too?
You do have the entire hotel, you know.
I mean, it's
Dr.
ours
Sporn
to
bought it.
use. They offered us 4 rooms.
We
You know,
have
I
4
think I brought-
rooms?
No,
Why
they.
do we have a hotel?
Yes, and you all insisted on sleeping in the same room. I thought it was weird too, but you.
Hey!
We were in danger, okay? You just told us that all 4 countries were hunting us. Yeah, I felt in danger.
Apparently, Asuka was not involved in the process. That
Which I wasn't.
like maybe he would have wanted his own room.
No, I think Asuka would have agreed that perhaps while we're still worried about foreign foreign assassins and cults,
Yeah.
that perhaps staying in the same room is wise.
We're protecting the baby. You can't protect the
Yeah, we
baby
gotta
if you're not in the
protect the
same room as the baby.
But that's we're distracting from the point. The point is, one room's worth of resources isn't enough for 4 of us. So I went and liberated some more.
Again, Asuka's just like, so long as
That's a
it's just not
fancy word
anything
for stealing that Asuka likes.
Oh, okay.
Asuka will then sort of like motion for Aristomachi to eat first, and then we can discuss perhaps. Wow,
Whoa.
that's great. Also, yeah, was that your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Oh, thank you. They say you're adorable. That was like, did you bring me fruit and veg, or did you bring me meat?
No, no meat.
Okay, cool.
It's a continental breakfast, so it's
Yeah,
like
there's lots of
croissants.
Yeah, but there's like ham.
There's no ham.
Yeah,
There's
Asuka
some
knows
kind
your.
of breakfast I have.
Yeah, Asuka knows your diet at this point.
There's
Like,
yogurt.
there-
There's some blackberries. There's some prickly pear.
Yeah.
Some cactus.
Asuka's
Yeah.
pretty observant, so they would know your diet at this point and would have brought you, fruit and any veggies that they had out, and
No veggies.
no veggies, so fruit and bread. And do you eat
And yogurt.
Do you eat cheese and yogurt?
Yeah, I eat cheese and yogurt.
Okay,
Cow
they'll have
milk.
profit.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that we should take Ned with us. He knows too much, and I don't think he's as closely tied to the other things as that Dr. Sporin, who seems greatly suspicious.
Asuka will write down. Dr. Sporin would like us to go to Laka. I'm guessing he does not know about this secret organization. It is not safe for us to go there.
Definitely, I agree. I wonder if we could convince Ned that he's in grave danger and that we should not tell anyone else about our plans and then take him off to the great library. That's where we wanted to go, right? We wanted to go to the library.
I don't know. I mean, the library has lots and lots of books, but the people and there's like, a strained sense, like this is so much thinking and it's so hard for someone without a brain. It's like, but the people we fought, they had that thing that said they came from everywhere, and if there was something in the library that said where the humans were, don't you think they would have already gone there and then the humans moved? It just doesn't seem like a very up-to-date kind of way of finding information. It's all history.
Oscar will nod their head
I-
and write them. That is a good point.
It's not
That
like
hurt
we've
my
got
head.
magic tablets that write themselves of the current news and trending events.
Sadly, no, that would be a major achievement. And so, convenient.
Wait, I'm going to use that for a campaign. Let me write that down. Magic tablets that are of the newspaper, but it's just the tablet that's updated every day by magic. This is great. Let's go it down. I'm leaning towards Athos. It would perhaps more rumor-based knowledge might be better at this point.
It seems like it would be the best up-to-date thing, because in Judea we got books on humans, and in Lacquer, we've got people, getting killed because they're looking up archaeological things about humans, but the Athos place has human hunters, and that seems a bit more immediate, but also kind of scary, especially since we, have one.
Imagine, if you will, that you are a human, and you hear...
Mr. Blobby assumes a kind of like pseudopod, kind of thing from the swamp, kind of human shape.
For some strange reason, you're attracted to this place, Alcohol, but you know it's full of people who are hunting your kind, and you must be very wily because no one's seen you for years. Would you go near Alcohol? I wouldn't.
No, but if I was a person who was hunting humans, I'd probably know more about it than someone who was reading about humans. Maybe.
We're not
People who
looking...
kill things are very motivated.
Also, if you want at any point, you can make a history check to see what you know about Athos, since none of you are from there.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do that.
Can someone roll for me?
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
will roll for you.
I got a 9. I know nothing.
You got a 7 plus
Thanks.
whatever.
History. 4. 11.
Okay, so 11.
I got a 19.
19.
I got a 9.
9. Gerbil, you got a 13.
13, yes.
Oh, Gerbil. This is
Yeah.
not your specialty. Okay. I'm just quickly looking up. I lost the page that had what kind of creature he is. Oh no, why didn't I bookmark it? I'm so foolish. So, Asuka, you're the only one who knows much about Athos. I'd say you would all know that Athos is jokingly referred to as the bog of the world, but it's also incredibly accurate. There isn't a lot of landmass. It is taken up almost entirely of bogs. The people who live there all seem to have some type of semi-aquatic leaning. because they have to be able to be submerged for long periods of time or even enjoy being submerged. And their king, Padrike, is very, very peculiar. Asuka, what you would know about Athos is that it is kind of become known as the epicenter of dark magic, and whether or not that's rumor just because it's very strange and dark and not a lot of people like to go there, or whether or not it's true, you aren't sure. But you do know that the rumors, every nation is going to have rumors about it. Laka has rumors that the people there like dance naked under the moon and like drink, children's blood and sacrifice their children for harvest cycles. And Jadir has rumors that everyone there is like super uptight. There are always rumors about any nation, especially for other nations that are probably not true and have something to do with stereotypes about the type of people who live there. But the rumors that come out of Athos are very alarming, that the people there do black magic, they practice dark arts, that there are portals to hells open there, that demons run rampant, that no one is safe, that it's a place full of crime and terror. And you've never been there. It's never been a place that you've wanted to travel. So you don't know what is rumors and what is fact, but anything that comes out of Athos does not sound fun.
It's a very dangerous place to take a baby.
Why can't I find what their king is? He's
Is
one
he
of
the
those
buggy one? Is he the buggy one?
Yeah, he has
Okay.
God,
Who was the llama looking?
The what?
The llama looking girl.
No, that's the other nation. That's the one that no one talks about because it hasn't come up yet. Because it's the nice one.
Okay.
It's the nice
that
kingdom.
at all.
Everyone there is very happy.
I know
do
that
have-
there's the bug, the deer, the dragonborn, and I've forgotten the rest.
I do have a question about Lucca though. I kind of imagine it like being like Australia, like they're super, super into their flora and fauna, what comes in and out.
Yes.
Quarantine, right?
That's not
Yeah,
That's a view.
Oscar will write down. I know Athos has a dangerous reputation, but perhaps it is less likely to run into this order cult thing there. Perhaps a better place to hide as well.
The thing is we're not looking for where the humans are wandering. We're looking for the source. Would we not find the source? Not in rumors, but in history.
Not if they've curated it.
Yeah. I think if someone was going to find it in the Library of Shadir, they'd have already found it. Like, people spend so much time in there. There's not a book in there that hasn't been read, so...
But there may be a book that hasn't been read in a while.
If nothing else, we might find a book on baby husbandry. I once played a game with my clan, where you all pretended to be things, and if you read books, you could learn new skills. We called it Skydim.
What did you pretend to be? I pretend to be a teapot, and I make a teapot shape.
The king, he's a Nothic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Buggy looking thing.
Well, I am not going to Lacquer.
I don't think any of us want. Yeah, I was gonna like. I don't think any of us want to go there.
That seems like a bad idea, given that we just killed a bunch of people from there.
Plus, we would not be able to
Not that they
hide the
can prove it.
truth. We would not be able to hide the truth in there. Not a
True.
border checkout.
Heavenly.
Yeah.
Given that I'm from Judea and I have a lovely book given to me by my bestest friend Darmok on Judea and such. Would I know if we'd be able to hide the baby, or if everyone's like looking through glamours and shit constantly?
That's a good question. You're thinking of putting a glamour on the baby, and you're wondering if someone will be able to see through it.
I'm just wondering because I know Judea is very like magic heavy,
inclined, yeah.
and I'm wondering if they have if I'd know if like glamours are frowned upon, or if everyone's friggin' perceptive.
Yeah, so Jadir, the people of Jadir aren't any more magically inclined than any other nation. It's not like there's a higher concentration of people born with magical abilities. It's just that because the king is a wizard, he has magical abilities, and everyone in his court and his keepers of the peace do. Magic is just used to maintain the city. So it's not necessarily that the people are all magic geniuses. They're not all going to be proficient in arcana. It probably wouldn't be uncommon for someone to have a glamour on them in Jadir, because it is such a pretty city. Like it's, everyone wants to look good. They want to look their best. It's a very aesthetically oriented place. The people there are going to be very aware of their appearance. So, but I don't think anyone is going to be, you wouldn't believe that people are like looking out for glamours. They're not going to be able to sense them.
Okay, just curious. So, Lacquer's out. Athos or Judea? I know people in Judea. Don't know how helpful they'd be, but I know them. But we also have to take Ned, apparently.
I think we should take Ned anyway. I don't know what his involvement is yet, but I think that he's just the right age to be very impressionable, and if we don't keep a close eye on him, then he might do something horrific, like join the bad people.
Or kill his brother.
Does he have a brother?
No.
Goebbels does not think really, really hard.
Asuka will write down, that brings up another subject. What do we tell Dr. Sporn about this organization? Because he really wants to go to Laka.
It is not his choice.
His friend just died there. I pretty much we tell him, if you go there, you're probably gonna die. Don't go there.
But what if he asks why we know that?
Because he told us that his friend was beheaded or executed.
Does he? Ozzy will write down, I don't think he quite knows how dangerous his line of research is for him personally.
You will remember that when Dr. Sporn told you that his colleague had been killed, he said that it was very exciting news. And he thought that meant that what he was researching was like something valuable. So he does seem to feel that this danger is kind of exciting. He doesn't seem to be concerned about it because he thinks it means that he's on to something.
He is the dumbest smart person ever.
At the end of the day, we have been paid to return the baby to its family. Not to get involved in any politics, not to make strange doctors famous, not to be part of their weird experiments. We can try and find something ancient in Judea. If it fails, then we'll find something recent in the alcohol place. That is our one job. That is all we have been paid for. And if the doctor doesn't like it, well, he should have thought better with his contract.
I can agree with that.
Oscar will nod. So we don't tell the doctor about the Anti-Human League.
Well, he's blabbing along with everyone that there is a human. How would we know he wouldn't blab about a secret society?
Perhaps
Seems like it'd just make him excited, and that seems really weird to me.
Yes, but perhaps it will get him to stop blabbing about the human.
That's
I
a
think
good
if
point.
one of his friends being executed doesn't stop him, knowing something's not going to stop him either.
He doesn't know why his friend was executed.
True, but he thinks it was because of human stuff. That's why he's all and just excited wiggling. I don't know. So,
Oscar will look at the other two.
Judea?
Jadir, I guess.
To Jadir it is. Flash forward, we meet with Dr. Sporin.
For dinner.
Okay. It's just Dr. Spore. Ned is not there, and he's looking excitingly at you.
Hello.
We have the
Well,
baby.
good evening. How was your discussion? What have you decided?
We are going to Jadir.
And you are set on that course of action. There's nothing I can do to convince you.
No, we are going to Jadir, and if Jadir doesn't pan out, then it is Athos.
Well, I certainly hope that Jadir pans out and you do not have to go to Athos. It is a miserable hole in the world.
Have you been
Yes.
there?
When
Gross.
did you go to the Alky hole?
No. This was before I was interested in this line of research. I wouldn't have slummed with conspiracy theorists.
But now you're a conspiracy theorist.
Is it really a conspiracy theorist when we know that humans exist?
But you didn't know that before we knew that. So you were a conspiracy theorist, and now you're a conspiracy prover.
Aren't they the same thing?
I suppose at some point in between not believing conspiracies and proving a conspiracy to be true, there may be a time in which you are a conspiracy theorist. But it's not something that I was necessarily seeking out. I just happened to follow the science.
So you were a conspiracy theorist, and now
I
you're
will
a
admit that
conspiracy
perhaps for a time there was a
hypothesizer.
bit of leeway between conspiracy theorist and fact finder. Yes, perhaps, but no, I have never gone to the Alky hole.
Where did you go in Athos then?
Oh, I was just traveling. I've traveled all over. I'm a doctor. I want to see the world.
So you healed people in Athos?
No, I am not that.
Wrong kind of doctor?
I do experiments.
Oh.
I was once trying to create an antibiotic.
Oh, what now?
An antibiotic. It'll help when you get an infection like gangrene or a cut that won't heal. Something that anyone could take anywhere and will help heal it up, but it wasn't successful.
I turn into two people when I get cut.
That's very fascinating.
Hmm.
Well, I suppose that
Anyway.
I will be going to lock up on my own.
Oh no.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Or dead.
Why?
Fine or dead?
I'm not going to be dead.
What happened to your friend?
My research partner was executed
dead?
for crimes
So they're dead?
against the crown.
Sounds a
Very
lot
dead.
like they're dead.
Yes, she is dead. But
Okay.
if I were to stop investigating anytime someone threatened me, I would never get anything done.
But has someone ever killed your research partner before? Sorry,
No.
what was that? There we go.
No.
And Lucca takes its crimes against nature quite seriously. Executions are a happy pastime.
That's a
Can it be a
terrifying
crime
sentence.
against nature if these things are a part of nature? I don't understand. Someone had to, whether we were all created or we all came from the mud of Athos, humans were there with us at some point.
Asuka will
I'm
write.
confused.
Asuka will write. There are those who will. What's the word?
Are you right? Did you write what's the word?
This is me personally. I had the word on the tip of the tongue. Who will persecute you
Okay.
for beliefs that are different from their own. Perhaps it is best you do not go around shouting to the hills about humans, when that will get you killed. Keep it quiet, even if you must move forward.
Yes, I
When I-
understand. I know how to keep a secret.
When I was a
Ned.
child, they exterminated a whole village just for stuffing animals.
How barbaric.
Rude.
Mrs.
So-
Lucca.
Mum's the word.
I will keep this, of course, a secret. My name is just as intricately tied to this whole mess. And I don't want to die. As much as I would love to make the discovery of a lifetime, I have to be alive to get credit for it. I'm not interested in dying.
Will you send us a pigeon if you die? Just so we know.
Yes, I will send you a pigeon if I die.
Definitely gonna die. He's definitely gonna die.
We're gonna die.
He looks to you. He looks to you, Asuka, and he says, "Did you look over the packet I gave you with the maps and route suggestions?"
Oh, we completely.
Did we look over the
No,
packet?
you didn't. You didn't. That was my
Um,
way of reminding you that you have it.
What?
Asuka will write down. We had a lot to discuss.
Well,
We'll look at the new one.
at least look at the section about Jadir. I've traveled the nations many times. I know the best routes. It will give you a few options at least. Yes.
I'm from there. Think I know it.
Do you know how to get there from here?
I got here from there.
But was transportation speed a factor, or were you taking your time? I'm just saying, I've laid out some routes that I feel might be most effective. But yes, I suppose you could wander
Asuka-
at a slow speed forward if that's
Did
what you
you
want.
call me slow?
Yes, you are.
You're short.
I think we are getting emotional because we haven't eaten.
I always eat. I'm eating right now. There's a lot of dust on the floor.
Asuka will put a hand on Dr. Sporin and just nod. Give the symbol for okay. And we'll look at the rest of the group and shrug their shoulders.
Aristomachi looks very troubled.
Mr. Bobby's gonna like just sloop over and kind of lean against Aristomachi's leg, like, "You okay? You look grumpy." You okay?
We'll speak later.
Okay. Okay. Just kind of like quickly hugs her leg and then slips away again.
What if that's like wax paper that you're just taking off all my minor sulfur?
No, it's literally like, you know, when you stick your hand into like, you know, like a play slime.
Okay, yep.
And then you take it out and your hand is still dry, but it feels like it's been touched.
Ooh,
Yeah.
very exciting. Dr. Sporin will eat very sadly and in silence.
Where's Ned?
I told Ned to go home.
Oh no.
I thought we were taking Ned.
I don't know that you were taking Ned. You told me that you didn't like him and you didn't trust him.
I said I liked him very much. I said I loved
You were
Ned.
obviously lying.
How? Why would you call me out like that? We wanted to see Ned.
If you want to see Ned, you can go visit him. You know where he lives.
We do know where he lives.
He lives in the mayor's manor. He's the mayor's son.
But now we need to approach him, and suddenly we take the
awkward
vulnerable.
now.
It is. We've made
Do
it
you
awkward.
Do you want me to go and get Ned and bring him back?
Asuka will put a hand.
He's gonna
Asuka
look at Aristomachi like nodding vigorously, and then at Mr. Blobby and Gerbil like demurely declining.
Asuka will put a hand on Dr. Sporin's shoulder and then look at Gerbil and Mr. Blobby hand on hip and point towards in the general direction of that house. And then we'll write it's good for building character.
Come on, Mr. Blobby. You know when Asuka puts his hand on his hip, puts their hand on their hip, that they mean business. Come on.
And they just like slap towards the door, like, I think it makes him look like a teapot, but sure.
Actually, there's a lot of things about Asuka that are kind of like a teapot.
Yeah.
He produces tea.
He does.
Like every morning.
He does. And he's, you know, made of, is it ceramic or metal?
He's made of something.
Metal and
I
like
don't know what
wood
it is.
and cloth.
We wouldn't know the difference. Metal,
Metal,
ceramic.
wood, and
That's the same from down here. So we're gonna go rescue the goth, I guess.
You're gonna go get the goth. Okay.
We're gonna go get the goth.
You know, you're able to get there and back pretty quickly. Like Ned is in his little. When you go to knock at the door, the mayor tells you that Ned's in his little man cave, and you can go into his man cave, and he's sitting down there with the lantern, and he's reading a book, and he's like, "Yo, what's up?
Can you come with us, please? Thank you."
Where do you want me?
Hi.
Where? What?
The hotel. We're discussing important things, and we think you need to be a part of it because you're so important. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He perks up a little bit, and you can see that he's growing a little mustache. He's just started, and he says, "Is it about the baby?"
If you could not say that word, then yes, it is.
How how are we supposed to refer to it if you don't want us to say baby?
We've been saying boo boo. Project.
Yeah, but yeah. Project boo boo. Project boo boo.
All right. He gathers a couple of things, and follows you back to the hotel.
I just have an image of him walking between us, and like each of us are holding one of his hands. It's like walking him back to our house. Oh, sorry.
At any point, is Dr. Sporin away from the table?
No, not unless you ask him to leave.
Come on.
I mean, at some point he's going to go to bed. You know, he's going to eat dinner and then go to bed. But he thinks that you're fetching Ned for a meeting, so I don't think he's going to go to bed anytime soon. He thinks he's a part of the meeting.
Is Dr. Sporin staying at this hotel?
Yes.
Okay.
Surely he has to go to the privy at some point. I mean, he's only a little guy. His bladder can't be that big.
Maybe
We
he doesn't
could
drink a
spill
lot
a
of
drink
water.
on him.
He's incredibly dehydrated.
We could spill a drink on him.
Yeah.
Well, as Gerbil
He
and
ate 4 muffins.
Mr. Blobby
That's a
are
lot of
getting.
fiber.
Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to take Asuka's pad and write on it
I'll let you.
discreetly.
Okay.
I'll let you.
What I want to say is, if we let him go to Laka and he gets caught and tortured, he knows exactly where we're going. This is what's been in their minds the entire time.
Oh no.
Then I just slide it back over to Armadad.
Asuka will not look at you, but like sort of tilt their head, and then they'll give you their sort of short nod that they understand, and then we'll continue to hold their warm cup of tea that they brewed for the night.
Okay. So So we see Mr. Blobby and Gerbil have gone to fetch Ned, and he is very enthusiastically gathering up some materials that he thinks will be helpful for this meeting, and they're walking back. It's a short journey, but you know, they're going to be gone for about like 30-45 minutes. And we see Aristomachi pass this letter along to Asuka, as Asuka very demurely notes that he understands, and Dr. Sporin just obliviously is eating sand rat. They do have rat for dinner, Gerbil. And and we see that you all have been gone now for a couple of days on this mission that began not too long ago with the Dr. Sporin coming to meet you at your place of operation, the Come On In Talonford in Messir. And we see the bartender, grab his name. What was his name? Hexley behind the bar, as he always is, mopping. There's always something spilled. And at one table is the gargoyle that you all know as Nala, the one who in some way recruited most of you into the Hollow Hoods. And Nala is sitting at the table enjoying a fine mead that Hexley made himself when the door to the Come On In opens. And a voice says, "Oh my goodness, this place is like so quaint." And that is where we will end today's session.
No.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh my goodness.
We need to move on really quickly. Just a day away. Damn it.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
I'm blanking on it. Does that voice mean something to everyone else?
Yeah.
It's Gwen. I want to say
It's
Gwen.
Gwen.
It's Gwen.
Yeah.
She's a baddie.
She's been in a few flashbacks now. I think you've been in one of them.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. So
She was the one who was tasked by the Keeper of the Peace to hunt down something that the young blue dragon was looking for. Asuka.
Yep. There we go.
A mysterious armor.
Yeah, there we go.
And if you also watch the flashbacks, you'll know that she is traveling in the companion of someone whose name is Osya.
Yeah, no, okay, I remember the character now, just not the name. The name was... Okay, yep. I have notes on it, it's in here. I just blanked on it super hard.
Well, here we are at the end, everyone. Thank you so much for coming along today. Oh boy, we spent an inordinate amount of time in the hotel today. I kind of love it. Like the episode title is just so apt. But we are finally.
Yeah, we didn't actually leave it all.
Oh my goodness, I've forgotten about that.
What was the title?
On the road.
Yep. We thought about going places a lot today.
You definitely made some plans.
On the road, in our minds.
With
It's an
Ned.
emotional road.
Okay, well, everyone, we're going to head over to the Discord where we'll talk about this show. You can find a link to the Discord in these closing links, along with some other social links and places you go to support us, sponsor information, and various websites where you can get 10 to 15% discount using our special codes. Big thank you to Mage Hand Press and Bird and the Storm Publishing who make this all possible. And I apologize for being muted for this announcement at the beginning of the stream. I promise it was just as good quality. We'll be back at 7 p.m. now for my stream, Riders on the Storm, which is using Mage Hand Press's Weird West book, which we didn't reference today, but we could reference in future. And yeah, we'll be back next week for more T3P, Tooth, Tail, and Talcum Powder. We look forward to seeing you. See you later, everyone.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.